Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to another episode of the Arsenal Live. Today's video, by the title, this video is about. We're discussing what happened this week during the Steelers OTAs. I got some of the topics written down on my board. I always stay ready. But we're gonna discuss some of the stuff that we've seen throughout the week. We're gonna start off with some light stuff. But you've seen some of the O line out there getting work, and we have a lot of hope. And the O line got a lot of hope and potential in them because it's a young group. I think our offense is very young. Like I think our oldest player is probably Mr. Trubisky on the offense. He's like 27. I think he'll turn 28 in a little bit. If he haven't already, I think his birthday is coming up. I don't know if it's in June, something like that, or it already happened in May. But he about to turn 28. So our offense is very young. We got a young offensive line, and but they're kind of athletic though. And I think Mason Cole gonna be the person playing center, and Kendrick Green. I don't know if he can move back to his original spot, which is a guard, and he might be actually good as a guard. Because he can. We seen him get out and like down the field and like make blocks, like key blocks down the field. 'Cause he's very athletic. But as a center, it was just like the size difference. He wasn't like as powerful, and you just couldn't trust it, as a center, because like he was getting ran over, and some of those big D linemen were just taking just going through him. But as a guard, I think he'd be actually pretty good. So maybe he'd be as a guard. But I think our O line depth is kind of good. We have like the way we got as a collective group. And like people might not know the names too much, but if you look at some of their the numbers and some of their stats and stuff, you're like, okay, these guys are pretty solid. And that's like the group pretty solid like that. And Daniels too, he probably the best one on the line. But I think I think by not by far, but he probably the best one on the line. Dotson, he get back healthy and stuff. He had a lot of promise for him too. So I think all these guys as a collective group would be good, and we might see like different guys switch in and switch out and different stuff. But I don't think that was really the concern last year was the center position, because the center position we was getting cooked last year. Like the D line, those big D linemen was just running through every time. They was like destroying Kendrick Green. But I think Kendrick Green get moved back to his right position where he had the most success. We had the success in college, and he probably had the most success to translate in the NFL. Because like he fit the position perfectly. He moved back to guard. I think it helped out a lot. But Claypool was putting in some work too. I've seen him running some routes and stuff like that. He still has that unorthodox style on his route running. It's like I think I've seen him run like a comeback route. Like most like receivers like do like a little almost like a foot plant like, and then they'll turn like that. He do more of like a wide like hip turn like that, and catch the ball like that. I just want Claypool to stay on his feet, and if Claypool gets his route running better, I feel like he can be very good and very dominant. Because like the Steelers could have used him really last year in the slot. Hopefully this year use him in the slot a lot more, because he's a bigger type, like a big receiver, and he get one of them mismatches against one of those smaller corners. He can like try to exploit that, and you can like use him in different ways instead of just throwing like jump balls up to him. Just keep throwing like them fades. Like if he like learn how to get his route tree up and like learn how to like use them inside and use them on like short stuff, and like with his ability, playmaking ability, he can probably create some of that stuff. So like we gotta find a way to use him in different ways. So hopefully putting in work. Well, as we've seen, he's been putting in work, and he'd be good for us. Next thing we're moving on to the QBs. The QBs was battling. They battling off in the OTAs. I believe Mason Rudolph. They interviewed him, and he said something about like everything is split evenly. I don't know if it's split evenly between like the Mitchell, Kenny Pickett, and Mason and Chris, or is it like those three and then Chris against something else like that. But in my opinion, I feel like Mr. Trubisky will probably be the guy going into the season. But I'm gonna discuss that next video that come out probably on Sunday. But I feel like Mr. Trubisky will be the guy coming in though. But the QBs are out there battling. Yeah, it's really because like it's competition really, because like they all have a chance to well. I don't know if Chris, you never know if Chris go crazy. He probably could start too. You never know what could happen actually. Now in the NFL nowadays, you never know what could happen. But they all have a chance to like go out there and get an opportunity to compete and to start. I think the Steelers going to use the OTAs, training camps and all that stuff. They're going to use all that time to assess and see who they want to be comfortable with starting. But I think the Steelers will go with the veteran presence more likely. But they're going to use all that time. They're going to evaluate and see. They're going to use preseason and see. I'm gonna probably live streaming the preseason games, like a live watch, not live streaming. You can copyright it, but live watch the preseason game. But I feel like yeah, it's really up in the air. You don't really know exactly who got the keys over. But I just like I know Mason Rudolph competing out there, but I don't think Mason Rudolph he's gonna be like the guy starting, because that was the case. They would never drafted Kenny Pickett unless he's not gonna be the guy starting. But moving on to the next topic, Deontay Johnson and Stephen Tuitt was not at the training camps. Not training camps, at the OTAs. This is the voluntary part, so you don't have to show up. You don't have to show up because like, it's voluntary. You know, like, it's like if you want to be there, you can be there. But Stephen Tuitt, I don't know his condition or like his knee. You speculate that he probably healed from it because it's been a while since that knee injury happened. So he probably healed from it, but I don't know his mental state either. Because remember they said I think his brother died or brother passed away, and he was dealing with the injury too. You know, injuries can take a toll on you mentally and physically, and you know losing someone can take a toll on you mentally too. So I don't know what the state is like that, but Cam Hayward was interviewed and he said that he has a high, like he's very confident that Stephen Tuitt will be back to play this season. And if Stephen Tuitt come back, that actually helped out a lot because our D line did suffer last year. We was ranked I think 32nd. We ranked dead last in run. And we couldn't stop the run. We was getting just overpowered, overbullied. Cameron Hayward is the only bright spot on that D line. I mean, actually not the only bright spot. Cameron Hayward, of course, he's an All-Pro and stuff, but when Montravius Adams was pretty solid too, and made some plays. And you know, Chris Wormley, they made plays here and there too. But just in the run game, like in the pass rushing game, of course I know they're gonna make plays, but in the run game, we was not playing Steeler football. But if Stephen Tuitt get back with those guys too rotating in like that, that'd be some good depth. Cause like Stephen Tuitt, I feel like he's kind of pushing Pro Bowl, like based on his season. He played a full season, and when he like actually fully healthy, you see his numbers. He basically pushing like Pro Bowl boundaries. Like he can be a Pro Bowler. I don't know about All Pro. Especially because he kind of missed a couple of years, a lot of injuries that been adding up to like kind of his prime years as a pass rusher. But I feel like I think he's 29, 28, 29. I think he turned 29. But I feel like he'd be a very, very good for us. Like he come back and we have Stephen Tuitt, Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and then you have Alex Highsmith. That just be very good right there. And then Miles Jack too as a linebacker. I keep almost forgetting that we have Miles Jack. I'm like, oh yeah, we do have Miles Jack, and then hopefully Devin Bush get it together. So that would be nice to see. But D'Angelo Johnson didn't show up training camps either. Now it's voluntarily, so you don't have to show up. But people are speculating that D'Angelo is probably doing this like with his remember the contract stuff. They said something like there was a lot of rumors saying that he was asking for this amount, that amount. I don't know exactly. I don't know. I don't ever heard it from his mouth, so I don't believe any of those like the rumors that say he was asking for all these crazy amounts and stuff like that. But looking around, you see like people like. Christian Kirk got the big contract, and D'Angelo Johnson got better stats than Christian Kirk, and he's a Pro Bowler too. So he's probably looking for something maybe more than that. So I don't know what the Steelers actually do with the D'Angelo Johnson. Are they going to extend him this offseason? I know they might be extending probably Minkah Fitzpatrick. Probably their top priority. Minkah extend him, and then maybe work on D'Angelo Johnson. I don't know if they're going to do it, but another thing too to look at, George Pickens was drafted second round. What was it, second round? Yeah, second round. So they might be looking into George Pickens being a replacement. You know how Steelers do. Michael Tomlin said it himself before. We'll tolerate you until we can replace you. He said it to Le'Veon Bell. Remember James Conner took over? He said it to Antonio Brown. Juju Smith-Schuster took over. So you never know. They say they be saying like they be doing stuff like that. So like if George Pickens just emerged and he just had it, I feel like he'll have a good season. I feel like he's gonna be very good for us. If he just emerge and have a great season and stay healthy and like just plays amazing, and he like leading our team in receiving yards or something like that, you might say, you know what? I'll just roll with him. I don't have to pay you. So like you never know what can happen. So, but hopefully D'Angelo Johnson stays around though, because having more is better. You know, having D'Angelo Johnson, George Pickens, and Claypool and Calvin Austin and then Miles Boykin sounds better than just having without D'Angelo Johnson. So. But as of right now, I think D'Angelo Johnson is our best receiver. But I think that will change by the end of this year. I think George Pickens is going to take over the reins, take over the keys to the car, and become the receiver's like head of the snake. But yeah, that's really all I got for y'all today. About the Steelers OTAs. I was seeing some of the little stuff, some clips, and reading some of the little news headlines, and I was seeing the pictures and stuff. Now Najee had this clean visor thing that he came out with. But yeah, they put in work. But if I was a player, I ain't saying you have to, but I was a player, I'm gonna look and see like I don't know, you don't have to like that, like you don't gotta do it if you want to. But if T.J. Watt is at voluntary work, if he had the workout, I'm going to the workout too. He's the best player on the team. And like it's like you see LeBron James going to this, I'm going to. Tom Brady out there, I'm going. I'm gonna go. Even sometimes you might not feel it, but I get 7-2 it. I get that situation right there. But D'Angelo Johnson, I know it came like that, but I'll probably still show up just as a team chemistry thing. Like that, but I think everything's good though. Everything's cool. But hopefully he get the contract that he wants, and the team is good, and everything goes well. But I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.